hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game.
Hey, hello everyone, and welcome to the playoff edition of Sunday Morning Manager. I'm Sev.
I'm Matthew Wiggle, and we're here to bring you your picks and everything else to do with the playoffs.
That's right. And now we could do the usual who's going to win what series in the first round, but that's kind of boring. So instead, we're bringing you our favorites to win, our favorites to lose, our dark horses to win, and of course, our dark horses to crash and burn.
That's right. It's a fun time of the year if you're a hockey fan, and even if you're not a hockey fan, hey, who doesn't love the playoffs?
Exactly. So we are going to start right away with favorites to win. We're going to go west. Heff, who you got?
Who do I got? Well, I gotta tell you that Vancouver's looking mighty good again this year. And I really can't see another team that has all the pieces like they do to come out of that conference.
No, very true. I'm actually looking at the St. Louis Blues. That is a team that has done phenomenally well under Ken Hitchcock. They don't have that superstar power, but what they do have is a lot of guys buying into a system, and they're getting a lot of contribution from their primary three lines. The goaltending's been excellent. The team defense overall has been good. I'm really liking the Blues to come out of the West.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right, switching gears, let's look at the East. Sev, who do you got coming out of the East this year?
Well, flying out of the East this year, even though they actually can't fly, the Penguins. I cannot think of a team that is stronger up the middle. They're still a phenomenally young team, and I mean, everything about them just screams built to win. I cannot think of another team that has got more strengths in all the key areas. So many players on that team are left over from their championship run a few years ago, including their goaltender. It's the Pittsburgh Penguins, man.
Well, that's definitely got the star power, but I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you again. I got coming out of the East the Philadelphia Flyers, who they're facing in the first round. That is going to be a phenomenal series, and I think that Philly has a guy who probably would have been the scoring leader if he hadn't gotten injured. They've got lots of sandpaper, lots of toughness, and hey, whoever survives out of that series, I pick to go to the final for the East.
Alright, yeah, it works for me. And now, favorites to lose. We'll start in the Eastern Conference, and my favorite team to lose early, and it's going to be ugly, the Florida Panthers. I know, they won the division. I know, they're the feel-good story of the year. That's Jose Theodore Nets. He has not won a meaningful game in a decade. Okay? It's good that you're back, Florida fans. You've got something to cheer for after 12 very long years. That team is going down in flames.
I have to agree with you because nothing matters more in the playoffs than good goaltending. That teams will live and die by their goaltending. Who has won the cup the past however many years? It's the team with a better goaltender. And Jose 3 or more is just not the guy to take you there. Also, this shows the ridiculousness of the division rule. Because we have now Florida's facing, if the seedings stay the same, they're facing the New Jersey Devils, which is really 8 points ahead of them in the standings. I'm sorry, Florida, but no.
Yeah. All right, moving out west, who you got, Heff?
The team that's going to lose the worst has got to be Los Angeles. You know, they're 7th seed. They've had a marginal year. They haven't really added anything to the teams that have lost in the first, second round the past couple of years. I really don't see them going far. It's got to be Los Angeles for me.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Phoenix Coyotes only because much like the Florida Panthers, Phoenix is in just an awful division this year, and I think that they've been bolstered by that fact. They've been good. They have not been great. I really do see the Phoenix Coyotes going down in the first round quite handily, too, if Mike Smith does not stand on his head. Okay, and now moving on to dark horses, those teams that just come out of nowhere and really surprise you. In the Eastern Conference, my dark horse pick of the year, the New Jersey Devils. Something about them says they can win a round, maybe even two. Yes, it all depends if Marty Brodeur is the Marty Brodeur of old instead of just an old Marty Brodeur, but I think the Devils can do it.
Interesting pick. They certainly have a goaltender who has proven he can win. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead with you and stick with you on that one. They've got a lot of no real star players aside from Zach Parise and Ilya Kovalchuk of 2 years ago. But, hey, if Marty Brodeur can stand on his head like he has in the past, the Devils got a really good chance.
Yeah. All right, moving out west. Taffy, who is your dark horse?
Who's my dark horse? I gotta say San Jose. Now, they haven't had a good year so far. Well, they haven't had a good year, period. But, they've got lots of star players on their team. Joe Thornton, Ryan Clough, Patrick Marleau, and, hey, a Stanley Cup winning goalie in Antti Niemi. They have a lot of pieces there that if they start clicking on the right level, they could go far.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with the San Jose as well. Even though some of the names that we just rattled off there have had their playoff performance problems in the past, this really is a team that can sneak up on you and catch you off guard if you're not paying attention, especially at being a low seed like they are. There is the strong possibility that they could knock off a top contender very, very easily. I'm not saying they're going to, but hey, it's definitely there. All right, and now we are going with our dark horses to lose. Who is that top-ranked team that is going to crash and burn? Starting the Eastern Conference, Heff, who you got?
Ooh, this is a tough one. But, all the top-ranked teams are really good, but New York has a possibility. Yes, they're facing Washington. Yes, their goaltending's phenomenal, but you can't afford to take anybody lightly in the playoffs, and you know what? Stranger things have happened.
And you know what? The Rangers are my pick as well, because New York's defense is phenomenal. But offensively, they've struggled all year. Now, Washington has had struggles defensively, but that is still the Capitals. It is still an extremely explosive team out there. If the New York Rangers cannot turn every single game into a rugby match, Washington is going to beat them. I am picking the Rangers as my dark horse flameout. Going into the Western Conference, my dark horse flameout pick is actually, the Vancouver Canucks. I know. They're the best team in the West, but you know what? Something about that, I can never tell with Vancouver. This is remember last year against Chicago? Yeah. It is. You never know with this team. They either bury you in 4 or 5 games, or they take it to the last minute of Game 7. I can never tell with the Canucks. I'm picking them to be a flameout.
Wow. You know what? For my flameout pick, I'm going to do the same thing you did to me. I'm picking St. Louis. Because, let's face it, St. Louis wouldn't be where they would be without their goalie. They have, a good system that's doing well for them, but do they have any sandpaper? Do they have any star players? Those are extremely important in playoff matches. A player that can put their team on their back. I don't see any player like that on St. Louis. So, I'm going to have to go ahead and say St. Louis could very well lose early.
All right. And, folks, that is that's our playoff show for the moment. We'll be back when the second round starts, and we'll have something else on the go for you. So let us know what your picks are, who your favorites are to win, to lose, and all that good stuff. And we will see you next time.
Thanks for coming out and enjoy the games.